So every woman is beautiful and every woman is ugly. Let me say that again. Every woman is beautiful and every woman is ugly. Maybe I should say it one more time just to make sure it really hits home. You are beautiful and you are ugly. How does that work? Okay, well, it works for men too. So we're going to go through this little bit of presentation that I put together for you guys. And I'm hoping that you can fully understand where I'm coming from. This is what I'm always talking about when I say everybody wakes up at 5, but you get to make the choice on whether or not you're going to slide down to 0 and not be cute at all, or if you're going to slide up towards a 10 and actually be attractive. Now, the very first thing that we have to understand is that you have to kind of look at humans almost like dogs. And I use dogs because a lot of us love dogs, okay? Not everybody. Some of you guys might like cats. But no matter what it is, you have an animal that you can picture in your mind that maybe you like or you think is attractive. So when we look at these dogs over here, we see that they all look very much different. They're all puppies. They all look very much different. But yet, you know, they look like the breed that they come from. And from a perspective of breeding, we can understand that some people out there love pit bulls. A lot of people here in Atlanta, they love pit bulls. They think they are cute. They think they are lovable. They pick them up. They hug them. They squeeze them, you know, all this kind of stuff. And then there's other people who love Yorkies. Little bitty, cute, furry, you know, all that kind of good fun stuff. They just love the Yorkie. Oh, the Yorkie's so cute. It's so cute, right? So here you have these two huge dynamics. People like pits and people like Yorkies. And they do not look alike at all, right? But they're still dogs. Two types of dogs, two types of likes. Now, when we think about America and we think about the media of America, the media of America pushes certain looks. All right? And the reason why they do this is because they're trying to get you to be comfortable with a certain thing so that you'll be naturally attracted to this. This is all planned. This is all planned. All right. I'm serious when, you know, what I'm trying to tell you. Remember, my background is in film, media, photography, things like that. So what America is generally looking for a woman is they're generally looking for a heart-shaped woman with a generally small nose, medium to large eyes, and what, you know, American society says is full lips. Right. So this is not African society. This is American society, what they consider to be medium to full lips. They really don't like teeny tiny lips. They want to see the lips. Right. And most of these women do not have big breasts. OK, let's think about, like I say, movies. Think about it right now. All the movies you've seen. Most of these women do not have big breasts. They generally have B to C cup breasts. They generally don't have much of a butt, but they may have a shape. And they generally like their women somewhere between 5'4" and about 5'6". That's generally roughly what America really wants. They generally want light hair. OK, it does not necessarily have to be blonde, but they generally going to want it to be like a light brown or, you know, maybe some reddish in there and going up. Right. And then when you start talking about the men, you're generally looking at men with a lot more of a square face, a nice chiseled jaw, medium lips. Again, not thin lips. They want to see the lips. A small nose, medium eyes. They don't want the eyes too big because they will consider that to be feminine. And they generally want dark hair. All right. On the men, they don't want light hair. They want dark hair. Every once in a while, you'll see a blonde, but most of the time they want their men to be dark haired. So when they're pushing this image all the time, even if a person is white, if they don't line up with this image, it becomes very difficult for them in the dating pool because so many people are used to this image. And black people is kind of the same thing. Now, every once in a while, you get an anomaly. And this generally happens because maybe somebody is a child actor and they really need the actor to be able to act. And so they kind of go through 5,000 kids and they find, wow, this one can act the best, but they don't really look like what we wanted, but we'll deal with them. You know, I think Macaulay Culkin is kind of like that. He didn't have the look I think Hollywood wanted, but, you know, he was the actor, you know, for Home Alone. You know, he was the actor. But you didn't really see that much out of him as he got older, right? So once we start to think about black people, it's pretty much the same thing. African Americans have a general look. Most of us actually come from Ghana and Nigeria, you know, pretty much the west coast of Africa. If you don't know your history, that's where actually most African Americans come from. But as we got over here, we've got about 15%. You know, on average, the average African American has about a 15% Caucasian blood. OK, I don't have to go into how we got Caucasian blood. I mean, I didn't get this light, you know, without having a little bit of Caucasian blood in me. OK, so and we also, many of us have a drop of Native American. OK, because there was Native Americans here. And so many of us might have 1% Native American, and that is African American. So when you start to look at African Americans, you can see very much how we look very much like the people of the Ivory Coast, Nigeria, and Cameroon. You see that nose, it's about the same one she has. You see those eyes, it's about the same, right? So we look almost like our, you know, cousins back in West Africa, except for the fact we generally are a little bit lighter skinned and we generally have slightly smaller features, right? So here's the thing. Just like all these puppies over here, you can tell they're the same breed. When you are around black people, you know, what we call black people, African Americans, we can tell we are of the same breed. Does that make sense? Right? Even though we look different, like each one of these puppies looks different. You know, the little white on the nose is a little different. The little black here is not the same as there. You know, they'll be slightly smaller, slightly bigger, but they're still pretty much the same. You can tell that they're the same breed. Now, I know I'm talking a whole lot of, you know, technical mumbo jumbo right now to you, but I'm trying to get this in your head so you can truly understand what's going on and why, you know, I can stand on the information that I stand on. So when you look at white people, you see, again, that they look different. And you'll notice one of the things that I always think is really interesting is that you notice white people have longer faces. They have longer faces than the average African. Africans, we tend to have more heart, round shaped faces, and white people generally have longer square faces, which it makes it more difficult many times for a lot of white actresses because a lot of the times Hollywood wants a heart shaped face, right? But not always. OK, so these are just some of the differences. And the reason why I'm just trying to tell you is because as we go to the next slide, we will see the whole concept of do you like you? Because we can't go no further until you like yourself. So you look like you're supposed to look. You look like the breed of person, whether you white, black, Asian, Latino, no matter what it is, you look like the breed of your people, right? But here's what happens. As we start to go through life and as Hollywood and other movies and media that we're watching starts to send us images, we start to desire what we see. Like right now, there's a huge move with a lot of African-American females that are watching what's called K-dramas. What that is Korean dramas. A lot of black women can really identify with the Korean women in those particular stories because a lot of their stories are very much similar to a lot of black women feel in America. However, many of those black women have tried to go overseas and they've tried to date Korean men. And many times they've gotten rejected 10 times more than even they would get rejected maybe even by white men here in America because Koreans really prize skin color. And so to have a black person to come in and then that would darken their children, it makes it a little bit more difficult to actually talk to them. But the black women that are watching these Korean dramas, because they watch them all the time, and most Korean dramas are romantic, so they're watching them all the time, they start to be attracted to the Korean look. So now they really want a Korean man because that's what they're attracted to. So now they're doing all in their power to get to these men And these men are looking at them like, do I know you? Why you want to talk to me? Now, some of them, if they've been watching maybe rap videos or maybe they just like black stuff in America, they might say, cool. Or maybe if the woman is stunningly beautiful, that they just can't deny her beauty, they might talk to her as well. So one of the things that we can see, like it says on the screen, is you see East Africans. And you can see East Africans don't look like West Africans. Isn't that funny? They're all from Africa, but they don't look the same. And we can see that they are a different breed. Okay. And really, when you look at the whole world, if you're really paying attention, you will notice that as you're like way up in like Sweden and Norway, like way, way up there, as you come down closer to the Mediterranean, even white people become darker. And then as the Africans are starting to move up towards Egypt, they become lighter. And then as we go towards China, you will see people, they get dark, but then those, what we would consider Asian features, start to come in. So what you really see is that we really have kind of blended over the years. We're really not one thing. We've always traveled. We've always known that other people were there, and we've always kind of intermarried. So people need to, like I say, get away from some of this racism and cultureism and just really recognize we really are one people. But here's the issue. When an African American says, I want to date an East African, the East African looks at the African American and says, but you don't look like me, but I'm not comfortable with you, but I don't know if I find you the most attractive. We naturally are attracted to people who look like us because those are the people that have been around us all of our lives. So a lot of our attraction is not just physical, like, ooh, I just want to kiss and hug and blah, blah, blah. A lot of it is comfort. So when somebody looks like us, we feel more comfortable with them. So it's harder to go as a black person in America over to East Africa. It's not impossible because remember, they watch a lot of American film. So they might be like, oh, cool. I got me one because they're getting that media all the time. It's not as easy as what you would think. However, it's much easier for African Americans to date people from the West Coast of Africa because we look more like them. So when they look at us, they're like, oh, yeah, you kind of look like my cousin. Just a little light skinned in it, but you look like my cousin. We can make this work. All right. So that is really how this is working. It is really just breeds of people. I know we don't like to use that word because we use it for animals, but really that's all it is. It's really nothing complex about this, but it is working in the back of our minds. And then we don't understand that we are doing this. So let's move on. So one of the issues about a lot of women when it comes to clothes is, and people have heard me say it, and I say the same thing about guys, is that, you need to dress well, but you need to do your own style. I'm always going to say that you're going to need to do your own style. There are men out there that like to rock the J's, that's what they do. And they're going to put their little joggers on and, their shirt, and they're going to do it. But if you're going to do it, do it. Now, again, I'm encouraging you to buy out of season. Do not buy in the season because you're going to be wasting your money. Right. And this is always one of the problems with people is because they don't know how to buy clothes. And I'm going to be real with you for all the black people watching. And like I said, I'm not against the other races or anything like that. But a lot of black people make the mistake of buying stuff as soon as it comes out. That is not the best way to buy. You need to buy it when it runs on sale. It's going to run on sale generally 3 months after it comes out because they're going into a new season. Right. And that's how you amass a lot of really great clothes. And I know what you're saying. Well, Jay, if I do that, then I'm not going to be able to get, the fresh J's, the newest ones, because, they're going to sell out. Yeah, they're going to sell out. But trust me when I tell you, a woman is not going to talk to you just because you got the new J's. That's more of a guy thing. Okay, guy to guy is like, yo, you got them new J's. Oh, man, them bad boys is rocking. That's a dude to a dude. Women don't care that much about that kind of stuff. As long as you look nice and, and well put together in the image of what she thinks, she's going to be cool with it. And see, commercials are fooling you all to think you got to go buy that stuff now. Do not buy that stuff now. That's one of the main reasons why a lot of y'all ain't got no money and y'all got bad credit, because you're buying stuff in season instead of buying stuff out of season. Okay? Like I don't pay retail for nothing. All right? I always wait for it's on sale. Even if I buy cologne, which I encourage men to wear, I'll wait till they send me the coupon. If you ain't sending me a 15, 20% off coupon, then I ain't buying your stuff. I'm just being real. So for women, you don't have to be showing all the breasts and the booty and all of that. You really don't. But you do need to be more fitted. And you've heard me say this in some of the other videos. You kind of need it to fit, because what a man wants to do is he really wants to look at your hips. I'm just being real. I'm sorry. He wants to look at your shape. You know, people say shape, but, it's really hip waist ratio. He's checking you out. That is what he's checking you out. Whether he's a breast man, a butt man, whatever, he definitely wants to see that. So I'm sorry, ladies, if you feel a little shy about that, but you really shouldn't, because, you guys like things like height and, jaw shape. That's why guys be having these gigantic beards, is because really it's an optical illusion of the jaw. So here's when we're starting to get into the tea. We about to get into it now. So one of the things that you see very quickly up on the screen is that these are people before and after, right? Even Elon Musk, kind of got some more hair put up there. So I say it all the time. Most people, they wake up a 4 or 5, but with effort, they become 7, 8s, and 9s. And I absolutely love Rihanna, because Rihanna's been one of those people that has always put, any picture up. She just don't care, So that's why I love to see Rihanna. So, and then it's not just really about the look. This is one of the things that, like I say, I don't have time in a lot of other videos to go into, but it's not just about the look of a person. A lot of it is also about health, because really what we're attracted to in people is health. No matter what, people want to go back and forth on, we're attracted to the health, or what we perceive as their health. When we see things like a lot of acne, what it's saying is on the inside of their body, there's something not working right. And when we see other things about them many times that we don't find attractive, if it's a health related type of issue, like I say, those are things that we're paying attention to. So that's one thing. And then also there's the other thing about, money and financial security. So when people work on their lives, and I understand for a lot of people, they don't like to work. They just want to chill, and I get that. But it's like if you watch the movie WALL-E is the best movie I can say. I know it's a cartoon, but it's the best movie I can showcase. They have all these humans, and the humans are just sitting around in these little floating wheelchairs, and they're drinking smoothies all day, and all on social media. And, everybody's overweight. Nobody can do anything. In fact, there's a big thing at the end where they literally fall out of their wheelchairs and they can't even move around. But they're missing out on so much life because that is what's happening. And this is what America wants you to do. American culture tries to get people to be lazy. And there are algorithms and people that go to conferences, and I can honestly tell you this because I have been there. Okay, I've been at these conferences where people are sitting around and they're trying to figure out, how do we get people to be more addicted to social media? How do we get people to be more addicted to watching movies? How do we get people to be more addicted to eating certain types of foods? I'm just being real. These are real discussions that are happening behind closed doors that many of you do not understand, right? You don't understand that these things exist, but they do. All right. There are experts that are watching humans and they're trying to figure out, how can we literally squeeze out every dime out of them And the best way they can figure out how to do it is to make you addicted to the product that they're trying to sell you. So what you see is as you wake up a 4 or 5, maybe even a 6, with effort, diet, styling, time, because these things take time, education for some people, because like I say, a lot of guys, I'm not saying you got to go back to college or go back to a technical school, but many of you need to educate yourself with books that you can find. A lot of books, even some of them are free, or, really great people who are speaking into your life, because you need to educate yourself so you can get to a place where you can make more money. Okay. Education always equals more money. It doesn't necessarily have to go through the college route, but the more you know, the more you can apply, and therefore the better you can navigate, and then you make more money. So with effort, diet, styling, time, education, health, you lean towards 10. You start to move towards 10. You move towards 10 in all these categories of money, health, blah, blah, blah. But if you're lazy, you're like, man, I don't want to do nothing. I just want to binge Netflix, and eat my pizza. Then what's going to happen is you're going to move towards 0. You're going to take the health that God gave you and you're going to throw it away. You're going to take the potential of money that God gave you and you're going to throw it away. And then you're going to lean into the lack of understanding instead of leaning in the power that God has for you. Jesus said when he walked on the earth, my people basically perish for what, Bible scholars? Lack of knowledge. So what's really happening is the fact that we have lack of knowledge that is hurting us in every single aspect of our life. Now, let's look at some real life situations. So there was a guy that did some photoshopping, and he tried to show how the average celebrity would look if they were normal, if they were basically going about their lives without all the extra fancy stuff that they have because they're rich, right? So right now we have Beyonce and Jay-Z up on the screen. Jay-Z's kind of looking, a little nerdy right there, but, Beyonce probably picked out the outfit for him. And she, her hair is not fluffy, and all this other kind of stuff. Beyonce actually has dark hair. She dyed it blonde so she could fit in, with that society over there. Then we have the next person we have is Miley Cyrus. Again, she dyed her hair blonde. Like I told you, Hollywood really likes light hair on women. You see her over here trying to do her makeup, and now she's just following along with whatever trend is going on or whatever they're trying to sell you on commercials. And one of the things, ladies, real pro tip, if you pay attention to the commercials and the makeup on the commercials is generally different than the women who walk the red carpet. Women who walk the red carpet, their makeup is always indicative of them, what looks good on them. They don't follow the trends. Like there was a big trend about matte lipstick, where it just has no shine at all. And they were selling that to the average woman. But a lot of women in Hollywood were not doing that because they recognized it was not attractive. So you always have to do things for you that are attractive, not follow the trends all the time. So again, you see that with her. Then we get Kim Kardashian. This was back when Kanye and Kim were still together. And in this one, we see, Kanye, let himself go a little bit, but Kim let herself go too, because if they're in the same household, they're probably eating the same food. So we can see just totally different. Like, you see women like this walking through the grocery store now. You see guys like that walking through the grocery store now, right? Okay, I know y'all do. And that's why I'm always telling you, if you look like this, this is your dude. But if you look like this, this is your dude. Totally different. And then finally, J-Lo, right? So what we see through these people is that because of their celebrity status, they're getting up and they're able to push towards 10. Now, the truth is everybody can do it. One of the number one ways to do it is honestly to kill media, to limit your media. Like really, a lot of you could just listen to me while you're at work. You could listen to me on your phone if you have a job where you use your hands, or if you are just, like I say, a normal, 9 to 5 sit down type of job. You can pull up YouTube and just have it in the background. Or again, listen off your phone, put your earbuds in, and you just keep it moving. One of the things that, and I know this is more for women here than men, but one of the things that I always say is don't let somebody outside of your scope beat you. This is the thing that's always hilarious to me because, like, in this first picture, okay, this is a transgender guy, right? So if you think he looks good as a woman, and I'm talking to women right now, not to men, but I'm talking to women. If women think he looks halfway attractive, is he more attractive than you? And if a transgender man is more attractive than you are, wow, you really need to get it together. You see what I'm saying? You can't let a man in drag be more attractive than you are when God gave you all the right parts and pieces. And we have to remember that a lot of the pain that we feel and the reason why we think we're not attractive is because it happened to you in middle school. When you were in middle school, and I'm gonna be a little spiritual for the people that's not spiritual, but either you can look at it, the kids came over and stabbed you a little bit, or you can look at it like the devil got in the kids and then the kids came over and said, "You ugly. You ugly." And what happened was you believed that lie. And you believed it from 13, 14, 15, 20, 25, 30, sometimes even 40. You believed the lie that you were ugly. And you allowed those kids and or those devils, whatever you believe, to destroy you. Do not allow them to destroy you anymore. You are free. And this is for men too, because men is the same way. So, and then here's the distanced woman. So what am I saying here? I have a friend right now. I thought about bringing her on the channel, but I don't know if I'm going to bring her on the channel right now. But she is in her 50s, like mid 50s. And she talks about it all the time. Me and her have really great conversations because she can go out and people literally think she is maybe in her late 30s. And men fall all over themselves to get to her. And I'm going to be real for a lot of women that's watching. She's dark skinned. So again, I'm always saying this whole skin thing, maybe in New York and Northern California, because I've heard those places is really hard for dark skinned women. You have to go where you appreciate it. But she's in Atlanta, okay, where there's a lot of black people doing a lot of really great things. And so she's a dark skinned woman. She's in her mid 50s. And she pulls men like this. The girl has a body, like I said, a woman has a body of like a 35-year-old. So if you're a 35, how are you going to let a woman damn near 20 years older than you look better than you? When youth alone, men will go to battle for youth. And you're going to let a woman 20 years older than you look better than you? See, that's when, like I say, y'all give up. Y'all just say, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to sit here and relax. Don't do that. Don't do that. We're trying to get you married. We got to build up the fight. So here's just another thing about, the difference in diversity. This is one of the main reasons why I don't like trying to tell somebody how they should style themselves. There are plenty of people on YouTube. They try to say, hey, guys, wear the collars, put on a jacket, and they're telling the women, oh girl, you got to get your haul from this store or from this store. But what I'm saying is you have to find your style. And once you find your style, then maximize your style. But what you see on the screen is you're seeing all these women are totally different. They have different clothes. They have different hair. Like I like showing this because she's Polynesian, and in the Polynesian community, they actually tattoo that area. Women actually tattoo that area. So there might be guys that's looking at it like, ugh, that's not attractive. But that's because that's not your culture. Right? It's the same thing up here. She actually has the little dents and, when they put the scarring and then they tattoo it so you can really see it. In that culture, that's beautiful. Guys see, they're like, oh, your scarring is beautiful. Come here. I want to see it better. So when you're dealing with women all over the world, everybody's different. That's why I literally cannot say women do this or men do this, because you have to do you. You literally have to do you because you got to be authentic to yourself. But you can still take yourself to the max, right? But women, you are beautiful, but you got to find your beauty. That's why I tell women all the time, if you're natural, like this lady's natural, this lady's natural, and then a guy comes up to you and he's like, well, you would look better if you pressed your hair. You would look better if you did makeup. Then you need to basically look at him and be like, well, I guess I ain't your chick. And then move on. Okay, same thing if a man comes up to a woman and she's like, has the wig and the weave and the makeup, and he's like, you look better, you just be natural. You look better, you're natural. No, as a lady, you need to basically be like, no, I like how I look, and you need to go find one of them natural chicks. Evidently, I was attractive enough for you to come over. Because that's really what it is. They're trying to change you, but it was a part, whether you're natural or you're not natural, there was a part of your look that attracted the man. Okay, so you have to look at the core. The core is the attraction. So sooner or later, you will attract the type of man that you want, which will line up with your energy. And this is for big girls. So, I know you can't see it quite as much because I know it's going to be tiny on you guys' screen. But if you go full screen, you'll see like these, especially right here, these are bigger women. And I'm always, saying that, hey, bigger women, y'all still need to style yourselves. Because I get really sick and tired of this whole thing. Well, I'm bigger and I don't, blah, blah, blah. I'm not beating up on you because you're a few extra pounds. What I am getting on you for is not maximizing yourself. Because it's really no excuse. And I tell everybody, Pinterest. I got this particular page from Pinterest. You guys can go out there, make yourself an account, and then look up women's fashion, whatever year it is. You can look up women's summer fashion, whatever year it is. Look up men's fashion for the guys. If you have a hard time coordinating your outfit, you can actually look up men's coordination, fashion. So these are things everybody, it's literally easy. It takes 5 minutes. 30 years ago, if people didn't know, they just didn't know. But now it is so simple. You do not have to be a genius. And I know a lot of times, even with me, I'm like, man, what goes with what? In fact, I think I'm gonna put a picture up on the screen of, I went out to a event recently, and you'll see that the belt, you can't see my shoes, but my belt actually doesn't match my shoes. And one of the ladies at the event actually said, oh, well, your belt don't match. Because like I say, I'm just a normal guy. Like I say, I'm not a fashion dude, but the women at the event appreciated the effort because many of them were like, oh, Jay, you look nice. Oh, Jay, you look nice. Oh, and what that did was, it upped me, gave me more confidence. And now, I can navigate a little bit better. So anyway, I wanted to put some real words and some real facts to everything that I'm saying when I'm talking about you wake up a 5, but then you decide whether or not you want to slide into 0 or if you want to slide into 10. It is your choice. Okay, I've proven every single way that everybody is beautiful. I've proven in every single way that it's really your choice. So you've got to push yourself forward. So everybody is beautiful. Every woman is beautiful. Every man is beautiful or handsome. And every woman is ugly. And every man is ugly. But you choose which you're going to be from now on. Anyway, please like and subscribe, and I'm going to see you all in the next video.